Hello friends, day 14, we're just about there, oh my goodness. Tonight we are talking about, so many women ask me this, well even men to be fair. My husband asked me, what do you do? His friends, my friends, yeah, so many people. It's really interesting, and I think I had the exact same thought. And that thought is, what do I do instead of drinking? Like little children running around going, oh my God, what do I do? So tonight is all about breaking that habit loop with rituals that actually nourish you. And I'm going to share some of my personal favorites, but I'm also going to give you a couple of tools to help you create your own. But for now, I want to share a real life story, and is one of my coaching friends, and she sent me this really cool SMS last night, which I completely missed because I was off preparing a presentation for today. And she sent me, like, everyone in my house is in a shit mood and I've taken myself off to meditate, but this is when I want wine. LOL. Help. So when I came to my phone a couple of hours later and I saw that, I kind of had a little chuckle to myself. I'm like, oh, yes, I remember those moments. She was having one of those nights, right, where other people's moods got in her head, got in her space, and she took on that energy as her own. And this is where the little wine whispers came in. It's like, you've earned it. Everyone's in a shit mood. This wine is going to help you take the edge off that, off what you're feeling. And you know what she did instead? Super proud of her. She meditated. She took herself away from the situation, so took herself out of that environment, took herself away from that energy, disconnected from that energy, and she went and meditated, and she reconnected into an energy that was hers. She ate some popcorn, good snacking. She regulated herself, and she really rode that wave or that urge without actually going for the wine. So when I checked back in a couple of hours later, she was like, yep, didn't need the wine. And one of the phrases that I offered her was, this too shall pass. And I've heard this a few times, so I know that my little brain always wanted to use alcohol, as that promise that this feeling would be the escape from my temporary emotion. And the phrase, this too shall pass, was a really nice way of almost calming myself and giving myself that safety of, oh, it's okay that we feel like this. This emotion, this energy is going to pass. So if you're powerful, like if you can ride that wave out and wait for the other side, like there's always a wave that comes in and a wave that goes out. What you can do is you can actually not have that drink and keep all your dignity intact, and also your nervous system. So how cool is that? So let's talk about the false pleasure loop. Wine, rum, coke, beer equals quick dopamine. But because it's a false pleasure, it feels good in the moment, but it costs you later. And I think we've spoken about this before, about the true cost of something. A real ritual is regulated dopamine, which means that it might take longer to activate. However, it's going to build resilience. It's going to build self-trust over time. Your brain is wired to seek the fastest path to relief. It's completely normal. That's what it's there to do. It's designed to do that. And you've created this nervous system, which is so clever, and it thinks that that's what's keeping you safe. But with repetition, you can actually teach it that there are better ways to meet those needs. And this is simply by slowing down, by feeling that emotion that's coming up for you, and then by reconnecting or disconnecting from one energy and reconnecting into another energy. And that's what these rituals are designed to do. They're designed to actually help you reconnect through love, not punishment. And our brain is so freaking weird, right? It's like alcohol, we know alcohol is not actually good for us, and yet we keep doing something with it in fact, it's actually punishing ourselves. It's punishing our sleep. It's punishing our health. It's punishing our pockets. It can be punishing our relationships. It could be punishing our careers, our businesses. And yet we think it's something that feels like love, but in actual fact, it's just not. It's false pleasure. So here are some rituals that I have played around with a little bit. Walking after work is a really good one for me, especially with music, like really good feel music. Sometimes it's with frequency. I use like 888, which is the abundance frequency, or a healing frequency. Sometimes when I'm really highly vibrating, I choose not to use songs or music with lyrics. Just the frequency is good to help me regulate. Or a podcast that's either same thing, that has a really slow vibe to it, versus something that's like, yeah, we're gonna like save the world and do these amazing things, because that'll spike my energy back up again. And it's the evening, it's the afternoon. What I want to do is I actually want to slide that back down. So sometimes a podcast that's all around healing, that's all around nervous system work, breath work, or I don't know. Find what works for you, right? It's just literally a trial and error. I've also tried walking without any music, without any stimulus, and that's super handy. And you can be doing like a walking meditation where, you're simply using your 5 senses. So you can be walking and listening for the sound that's most furthest away. You could be smelling the ocean, the sea salt. You could be smelling the plants, whatever in nature. You could be smelling freshly cut grass. You could be smelling the coffee that's still on your breath. Getting to reconnect with yourself by using the sense of smell. You could use vision, right? Is looking out. Have you looked up? Have you actually seen ones in the sky? You could look for 10 different things. You could look for 5 things that are green, like whatever that is for you, is just using your senses to look, to actually slow down. What are the other senses? Smell, taste, touch, feel. You could feel the edges of your fingers, so that really brings you back down to noticing and awareness and self-connection. You could just get an object and feel the edges of objects. Like, is it smooth? Is it hard? Is it sharp? Is it hard? Is it cold? And you could just like in your brain try and explain that to an alien, what it actually feels like. So there are so many different ways that you can calm your mind down after work. So walking for me is a good one. Another one is creating sacred spaces. So every now and again, I'll disappear from the lounge, I'll disappear from the office or the kitchen or whatever, and I'll say to my husband, I'm just going to do a meditation in the bedroom. And what I do is I will put my salt lamps on, my little lamps here, I'll put a candle on. If it's the bedroom, I'm not a huge fan. My mum actually burnt down a couple of houses with candles, so sometimes it depends. I actually feel better with fake candles, so I might use fake candles in my bedroom if I'm by myself as well. Maybe not real ones. You can create that sacred space and do your own card reading. You could have your frequency music going, and you could be journaling. I have this beautiful money manifestation book from my coach. Sometimes that's a beautiful way to end your day, is thinking about your future and really up-leveling your mindset or your abundance frequency. Some other things are breath work. You could try a 9D breath work. I've got a couple free ones that you can try. There's a 12-minute one on the actual 9D breath work website. Try something like that. Other things you can try, body rituals. So hot showers, face masks, buy yourself some half decent moisturizer. Hands is a super good one. Humans need touch, and if you haven't had other human connection today outside of you, this is a really good one, is get some moisturizer and moisturize your hands. Give yourself a hand massage. That is actually a beautiful way to reconnect with yourself. Up your arms, into your heart space, underneath your neck. So try some of that. That's like self-soothing technique, self-soothing for safety. Again, nervous system restoration. That's a good one. Other things that I have swapped out, my rituals include learning that fuels me. So I have to actually mindfully do this. Sometimes I do get caught in consumption, watching videos that just end up spiraling me out and put me into comparison, all that kind of stuff. I love stuff like human design, gene keys, anything to do with entrepreneurship, money manifestation, right? Anything that kind of lights me up, that isn't, I want to say active learning, but it is active learning. But it doesn't feel like it, right? It doesn't feel like hard work. It feels really aligned, and it doesn't feel heavy on my nervous system. So find learning that really fuels you. And sometimes, like my friend, popcorn. That is a good little snacky snack. Sometimes that's the perfect nervous system snack, right? Popcorn, it's light. It's not overly salty if you just got plain popcorn. Anyway, regardless of the popcorn, that's what my girlfriend did, and I thought it was quite a good idea. So these rituals aren't designed to just replace the wine. They're actually designed for me to return to me. So my old self would spend a lot of time in the past, and we can spend a lot of time in the past as in childhood, or we can spend a lot of time in the past, like just in the last 5 minutes, in the last hour, in the last day, in the last 2 days, is spending time in the past by beating ourselves up, by thinking that we should have done something differently, by living in this doom and gloom and the self-pity party, as we can be sitting there in the past. Or Laurie likes to spend a lot of time in the future, which is great for visualization. It's great for dreams, for creative imagination. However, sometimes when we want to be there more, we forget that being here, being present with ourselves, is actually the perfect place to be. This is where it matters. Returning home to yourself. Something else to consider, my friend also has, my coach bestie friend, also has a program called Not Dead Yet. And I was thinking about her, and I'm thinking about her program, is you could write yourself a not yet list. It's kind of like a reflection list, right? Write down all the things you say you want to do for self-care, for creativity, for relaxation, but somehow, excuses, they never get done. And ask yourself, why do I keep skipping these? What excuse shows up first? What would I need to shift to prioritize these, to prioritize self-care, to prioritize self-love, to prioritize the things that actually light me up and aren't super heavy? And remember, you don't have to earn your rest, my friend. You just have to give yourself permission to start here, right now, in that messiness of it all. And of course, the next time you get that little wine whisper, pause, feel into that pause, notice what emotion is coming up for you, connect with yourself, reconnect, and use this phrase, this too shall pass. That emotion, it won't last. That craving, it's not urgent. That discomfort, it's not a reason to disconnect from yourself. Replace that quick fix with real care. Replace the noise with a ritual that actually returns you to your body. Replace wine with whatever makes you more you, right? And it's not that you're trying to behave or be good or do it right. It's more about learning how to belong to yourself, to be with yourself, to sit in those emotions, to sit in those hard emotions that feel hard. It's a practice, my friends. And these rituals, honestly, they make you feel so much better. So much better than waking up the next morning feeling like death, feeling like ass, because you promised yourself you'd just have one, but now we're having two, and then slipping into three, and then, oh, well, the bottle's just about gone, so we might as well finish the rest of it. You are worthy of more than just that, my friend. You are worthy of just putting pause on that drink for now. You're worthy of that peace that you're looking for, not the chaos, returning to some of that calm that is literally right here. So, question for you, my friend, is will you start embodying this person, the person that you're learning to become, who no longer needs alcohol, right? When everyone else in the house is in a shit mood. I know you can do it. Because guess what? I did too. All right, friends, that's all I've got for you tonight. Day 15 coming up tomorrow. We've got a couple more days of this. Send me any questions that you might have. If you want to send me a DM, happy to take that. If you need any journaling prompts, I've got a squillion and one of them for you. Or if you are ready to skip the queue and join my Stop Over Drinking 90-day program, holla at me. All right, friends, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.